Hello everyone, it's Summer here, and today we are going to finish up G4 of the Mlp PowerPoint, and maybe get to G5, we'll see, but for now, starting with Season 9, Episode 1, the beginning and the end, Part 1. The main six get an urgent summons from the princes, and get there to find out nothing is wrong. Then they'll see they're planning to retire and leave Twilight in charge. We know the princes never helped because it was all training program to prepare Twilight to take over. That's why they never helped with any of the other major threats to Equestria in the past. This is taking to logs of Virginia and teleported away. Terry and Cosmo are teleported out of Tartarus, and Summer is brought back as well. They all appear in the same place. And when they're a golden creature named Brogar, they're revealed to be this guy's Discord, brought them there. Brogar was a real person or goat that made wasn't let them run free back when Equestria was a collection of small farms pastures and used to rule Equestria. Brogar wants them to work together to take down the main six, but Summer decides to take the Crystal Empire back on his own. Twilight asks Starlight to run the School of Friendship, and then at the castle she tries to calm Twilight down by getting Twilight to say what she needs to hear, but it didn't work. Summer starts controlling the Crystal Pony and captures Cadence, Stringer, and Fireheart. The main six go to defeat Summer, and they know this because before getting captured, Cadence sent a message to Twilight to go get the elements to defeat Sombra. The main six are shown their greatest fears, but they only face him long enough to distract him and use the elements on him. They return the elements to the tree, and Sombra somehow was able to come back and destroy the tree and shatter the elements. And we're gonna go over Grogar's story. Grogar is an ancient, extremely powerful land that when become Equestria was a mere collection of farms and pastures until he declared himself Emperor of all he saw. He was the first Emperor of Equestria, the father of monsters. He was the first creature that allowed them in wild. Tame them they wanted and destroy the rest. His reign was a glorious spiritual epoch of darkness in Equestria. Gunsgate rose up against Grogar and took his belt and banished him. This is what Grogar supposedly looked like. Beginning the end part 2. So it traps the main six. They take their way out and go after Sombra to stop him from inside everybody in Ponyville. The Earthly Force starts to invade so the tree is gone and can't keep it from invading. Sombra and the pony invade Candle Castle. The main six can't get the force under control when the princess show up to help along with Star Swirl. They go inside Candle Castle. The squirrel pretends to be very hurt by Summer's magic, and they don't know that yet. And I think he is really hurt. Celestia says that they'll give Twilight time and she needs to become ruler of Equestria, and they don't discover just fine. Discord is disguised as Grogar, shows the other villains how Summer was defeated. Episode 6, Common Ground. We see news broadcasts for the Oak Ball in Appaloosa, and how Pinky, Flash Ice, and Snails are the championship team in Ponyville, and are put in the Buckball Hall of Fame. Rainbow Dash says she can't watch the first few games of the tournament since Applejack is too busy to come, and Rainbow has to go to the museums and tell her all about them, and we see a Quibble from the fanfiction, Season 6, Episode 13, camped outside the museum. We kill Special Simply, Clear Sky, and her daughter Windsprint. Since Windsprint isn't really a fan of Quibble, so he isn't a sports pony, like Windsprint's father, so he's not sure he'd be part of the family. Originally, he'd help Quibble become a sports pony. Maybe they're just having trouble, but decides Windsprint can play a game of football against Ponyville's team during the halftime show. We learn Windsprint doesn't like Phil because he's trying to make her forget about her, because she thinks he's trying to make her forget about her dad, but over a few hours she bonds with Windsprint and she starts to quibble about sports. And Win starts to like the book after Quibble tells her something that happens in the book. So this is Windsprint, and that's Clear Sky. She's all yak. We learned about the fin look fit, but that was only for ponies, so since it's for every creature, at school it's called the Amity Ball. We learned about some of the traditions like the Ponytail contest and the Lucky Pot dinner, and the whole night of dances. Seymour asks Yona to be his Ponytail, and she says yes. Yona goes to Rarity for help to learn how to be a pony, so she helps and sing the song as she helps her get ready to help her fit in. Fluttershy and Ruby are trying to help Yona learn the dances, but she has a little bit of trouble with it and eventually learns how to do it by later in the episode. Obviously, we might help her with the Lucky Pot dinner. She is able to learn how to dance at the ball and meets up with Seymour. Seymour tells Yona she didn't have to change for him. And they do the first dance called the Pony Cotillion. She trips over her dress and they do the pony prance, but she panics and knocks her wig over her eyes. And Yona runs out, destroying the Lucky Pot dinner by accident. Seymour finds Yona in the magical treehouse we saw in the episode Uprooted, but he didn't go over, which is around the castle of the two sisters. Seymour convinces Yona to come back to dance, and she never needs to be a pony for Seymour, and asks her to dance with him because she's a good friend. Seymour and Yona win the Ponytail Prize, which is now the annual award for friendship. This is the School of Friendship. Okay, episode 8, Frenemies. Grover leaves since the three aren't getting along. Cozy Glow organizes a team meeting with T-Rex and Chrysalis. Cozy Glow has a meeting with T-Rex and Chrysalis when Grover is gone. Cozy thinks it's a better way to be bad, and T-Rex and Chrysalis take over partway through. And they're thinking about how to work together and have a better way to be bad. The Wheeler investigates stole Grover's spell. The witching will hit atop Mount Everest. The spell to keep it safe. And if you realize or watch Sawtooth video, he says the lines up with the Gusty story where spiders ring to 6-fold in Flurry of Emotions. Cozy and Chrysalis both fail, even though Chrysalis got pretty far using her powers of a changeling. Tyrick didn't try to make it up to the top instead of laughing others, and Chrysalis also saves them from the creature as they argue. They work together and get to the top. Tyrick takes Chrysalis' magic to get through the barrier, and everyone rebel, and Tyrick gives the magic back, and they almost accept friendship, but Chrysalis backs out, remembering how it affected her hive. They made Grover believe they couldn't get the bell to make their own plan with the bell. The Last Crusade. We meet Scoot's aunts, Lofty and Holiday, and they learn from her parents are coming home. And then their parents are coming home. Okay, so just to point out, this is Lofty, that's Holiday, this is Scoot's dad, and that's her mom. So her dad's an Earth Boy and her mom is a Pegasus. Anyway, Scootaloo can't stop looking at the door windows at school. We hold off on listening to later, and Patricia tells her class that her parents are coming home, and what they do for work. They research dangerous creatures and unknown plants in the most dangerous and farthest reaches of Equestria, and what they learn helps poison science and medicine. Snips thinks Scootaloo is lying, But just as that happens, a crowd bursts into the classroom, but her parents jump in and stop it. We see her mom in Face and her dad's an Earth Pony. Her dad is named Snapshutter, and her mom is named Allgood. They take the Crusaders out for ice cream, and they tell them about what's happened since they've been gone. But since Tree Harmony was destroyed by Sombra, they return and decide they should live together. But they have to move to Shire Leka, and there's only one tree a month, so school won't be able to see the others as much. As they cry together, Ramesh bursts in with 3 front-row tickets to the Windmill show next week, but they cry again, and School tells Ramesh she has to move away. They try and get School's parents a job in Ponyville, but nothing is working. They decide to go with School, and she decides to live with her aunt instead. They decide to throw a party where all the ponies they've helped will explain how important they are, just like how their parents' jobs are just as important. It's called the Cutie Mark Crusaders Appreciation Day. They are presented with a 3-handled key to the city, and the school will stay and the aunts move to Ponyville, and she'll get to live with them. Episode 14, Last Laugh. Penny the imaginary cheese sandwich at his amusement factory, and she decides to go have him help her find her life's purpose. We see how the factory works, and Pinky gets so many cool ideas for a prank, and she learns that Cheese Sandwich has lost his laugh. Pinky tries to help, but it's not working. Pinky figures out they don't need to make Cheese laugh, he needs to make them laugh. Because nothing brought him more joy than seeing the laughter of his getting responsibilities for his hoof. She mixes up some letters, and one of his workers laughs, causing him to get his laugh back, and he decides to draw around a question between gags and jokes, and send them to the factory so he can still see the smiling faces in person, and sings about it. He makes Sans laugh, which he never does, and Pinky figures out she's already fulfilling her life's purpose, which is being a party pony. Episode 20, a horse shoe-in. Twilight tells Starlight when she eventually moves to Camelot, she wants Starlight to take over the school, which she agrees to. Twilight decides to tie her vice headband, since like Twilight always had her friends, so the boys who applied are Spoiled Rich, Diamond Tara's mom, Big Mac, Dr. Hooves, Octavia, and of course her best friend Trixie. She decides to test them in 3 stages. Each has her skill vice member or stallion we need to have. First, substituting for the teachers. Everyone passes except Spoiled Rich, and Trixie doesn't do well, but Starlight gives her a pass, so Spoiled Rich is eliminated. The next stage is a parent-teacher conference. We know we need to be a master free here, so they will each talk to a student's parent or guardian. Since Big Mac isn't really talkative, he has to leave even though Trixie fought with him over Allison's guardian. Still he decides to give her a pass. The last stage is organizing a field trip. Octavia takes them to classical music performance, Rose takes them to his lab, and Trixie teleports a patch of froggy brown dog into the classroom, and it has a flash beehive, where Starlight has to clean it up. Starlight yells at the tree, so Trixie runs off and Spike cleans up the mess and talks to Starlight. Starlight apologizes to Trixie and tells the others how he said to take on the joke, but decided Trixie shouldn't be the school, and decided Trixie should be the school guidance counselor. And Trixie figures out who should be vice headmaster, and it's Sunburst! Daring Doubt. Now Fluttershy tells Rainbow about the Daring Do book called The Fallen Idol that wasn't written by A.K. Yearling. It was written by Cavalier on Disguise. So A.K. Yearling was doing a book signing at Mlp with it for the book signing. The new book says Daring Do is real, which is supposed to be a secret. And this new writer is called Martingale, and it's actually Dr. Cavalier in disguise. Cavalier tells us that he was only interested in the research of the artifacts. I'm taking them to a museum, but Daring Do always got them first, and with her plans to offer the team up, she refused, and only 7 artifacts because Cavalier was only selling them to the highest bidder. Because since Daring Do was always got the artifacts, the museum closed down. So they were desperate for money to keep it open. Fluttershy joins Cavalier on Tarantino expedition to find out which author is really telling the truth. Rudolph and A.K. Yearling tells A.K. Yearling about it, who is the author, and really reveals herself to be Daring Do, to a young filly, and goes with Rainbow Dash to save Fluttershy. Daring Do tells us he must be on the truth of telling to you, which he took, and Fluttershy since it needs to pay the minimum paces to retrieve it. And if you haven't noticed, none of his henchpoints are Pegasi. Fluttershy shares her food with them, and they run into jungle cats, but Fluttershy talks to them and comes down, and they just continue their journey. We learn that Truth Talisman has the power to make any point holding tell the truth, but she thinks everyone only wants it because it's made of solid gold. Oswald captures them, but they escape anyways. Helen opens the temple, and Rainbow and Daring Do go into the right behind them. They reach the Truth Talisman, and Fluttershy has to fly to get it. But it almost was almost hurt by lava. We know Cavalier was lying on his backstory earlier, and he actually likes Fluttershy because he's not interested in it, he's telling the truth. And Rainbow and Daring Do are there now. They are captured by Alzodal, and Fluttershy asks him his side of the story, since understanding means with listening. He's telling me in charge of protecting the jungle and the other artifacts. Another artifact goes missing on his watch. He's gonna be so much trouble with the other guardian creatures. And since Daring and Cavalier have been taking them, his job is online. Link said she was only taking them because she thought she was protecting them, and Cavalier was taking them to get rich. Now, when Daring reveals to Cavalier she's A.K. Yearling, when Daring and Cavalier are writing a new book under their authority, Alzodal is reading a book hero across the street. Growing up is hard to do. The Crusaders want to go to the Appaloosa Fair, but they forget to ask them if we can take them. So, any other reason they may not be able to go. This is why the Fluttershy are busy with the magical flower. It isn't doing well. They can't go alone since they're just fillies. They wish to become adults in front of the flower, while Fluttershy and Twilight are looking for a book in the library. And the flower makes them adults, and a petal disappears from the flower. They make the train and see a story about being grown-ups. They end up being in the wrong place after meeting two ponies who are older than them as fillies. They get to Appaloosa before heading Before heading off to encounter the same creepy pony that Outback and Fluttershy met in Sound of Silence. The ponies they met are named Spur and Biscuit. This one's Spur and that one's Biscuit. In case you're wondering who was who. At the fair, Floofy, a little dog-like critter, turned into a tornado. Twilight and Fluttershy figured out the flower grant's wishes. So they got lucid thinking they wished themselves to the fair. Fluttershy figures out that they wish to become grown-ups. And cursed and cause a time panic. The Crusaders tell them what happened, and Fluttershy says that their pet, which is a whirling mungot, how are you supposed to pronounce it? And they are super rare and the cutest when they aren't excited. When young, they form a tight bond with their caretaker, so they go find Spur so they can calm Floofy down. They calm down Floofy and Twilight forces the Crusaders to wish to be full again. They learn to not try and rush growing up, and Spur agrees to be friends with them and love them as long as real grown-ups bring them. So we don't know what the Crusaders look like as full, but this is what they look like as grown-ups, which we actually do see later in the season. The ending of the end, part 1. Now this is technically a picture from the last problem, which I'm about to go over in a minute here, but this is what they look like in the last problem. But this is the ending of the end. Chrysalis spreads a rumor about the Earth Boys hoarding food, and Cozy freaked out the Pegasi. Musical guards Belle to take the magic inside, which makes them as powerful. It makes them Tarek as powerful when he had all the magic equipment. It makes Cozy look like Alicorn, and Chrysalis is more powerful. They take over his magic, revealing him to be Discord. Since Discord doesn't have his magic now, he can't travel with his finger, so he runs away. Twilight makes Spike her royal advisor. Since her word, you've been with me every side for every step of this journey. Know that you kind of gave me the strength I needed to grow and succeed. I wouldn't have been here without you. That is the exact words Twilight says. The Marine 6, at a certain point, acting off, and Discord shows up after walking there on foot. Sorry, I feel like I have to emphasize that, because remember, and they just said he doesn't have his magic. Discord tells the Marine 6 that, and the princess that Cozy lets her egg crystals are on the way to attack her to build Twilight's confidence. Twilight gets the pillars to guard the borders, and warns Starlight and Cadence. And she warns Starlight and Cadence. Cozy volunteers to test if they can use chaos magic, but she can't, so they keep it in the bell. Twilight gives a speech to Cozy who already took out the guards. Tarek takes the pillar's magic. Tracy and the students 6 escape with the pony students through the caves under the school. And Starlight goes to fight Chrysalis. Chrysalis captures Starlight, and the princess's magic is trapped in the bell. Cozy and Tarek help Chrysalis and Cozy capture the others, are telling them what they did, and Twilight escapes while the others are trapped. Ending of the end, part 2. And I'd like to point out we get to see Tempest again, which is really interesting. And some other ponies we see that we don't get to see often. like the Fun Fly Brothers. We see Stellar Flare in the background there. We see Moon Dancer, and a bunch of other unicorns, including Handsome ASA. Everyone is trapped in cages. The princesses and Starlight fight off the villains and free the main six, and go to get Twilight. They learn from a random unicorn that every pony is for themselves. The unicorns have been gathering at Celestia's school ever since the attack. The Earth ponies have been pouring the playbill while the pigs are hiding and blocking our cloud sail. Twilight is hiding in the Crystal Empire because of all the fighting. The Wendigos return. Twilight's friends try to build up Twilight's confidence. Twilight tells Candace that it's trying to make for her to stay safe, and she's the last one if they fail. The main six come back to Carol to fight. Rainbow, Pinky, Twilight, and Twilight are distracted with Rarity, Upjack, and Fluttershy get the bell. The unicorns help them. We learn that the students convince their tribes to help, since the friends do what they can while they're hiding in the unicorn shield. Even though the student six helped convince every creature to help. The shield is broken, but Twilight stands up to them, and Twilight gives a speech where the main six and the pillars and the students all use their connection to the tree of harmony to defeat them. Pinky took Discord's magic with a crush and crushed the villains with a giant cupcake, and before she can do any damage, Discord takes the magic. Then gets his magic and gives the princesses their magic back, and Discord and the princess turn the villain into stone. Just like Discord was for years. Okay. Last episode of G4, the last problem. Another picture from the last problem. And so far, Pinky's the only one we know out of the main six to have kids. So, a much more grown-up Spike comes to meet with a much older Spike that has a sparkly boy mane just like Celestia and Luna. Twilight has taken over the School of Magic. Twilight has taken over Celestia's School of Magic, and her top student is the most important lesson of all. Gala seems to have become a royal guard, and sent her top student, a pink unicorn with a yellow-orange mane, named Lester Dawn. And her key mark is, well, a Dawn. Lester says she doesn't understand why there's so much focus on making friends, and she doesn't want to make friends, even though Twilight's accomplished a lot with her friends. Lester thinks she rules alone now, even though they and their friends still rule with her. She says if friendships ultimately fade, why make them at all? But as they walk through a hall of stained glass windows, Twilight tells her that it takes work to maintain them, and there's no guarantee it will last. And she talks about the time she realized it might not last forever. We see flashbacks of the story. I just want to mention, in case you watched this episode's notes, there was a stained glass window of Flare Heart in the background. Twilight's packing tells Spike that she's ready to rule, but that doesn't mean she's ready to leave Ponyville and her friends. She talks to her friends about it, but none of them are worried about how things might change. But her friends do care what will happen. Rainbow leaves to go find the Wonderbolts, but the others send a train, but Rainbow needs to fly to Camelot since the Wonderbolts aren't at headquarters. The coronation was kind of a disaster, so that's why Lester thinks about the others. Which is hard because Spike says that her hair says that she's half right. So Lester thinks that the coronation was a disaster, that her friendship just faded away over time. But Sprite says, not exactly. And then they arrive at Canterlot. Pinky arrives with her daughter, Little Cheese. And they're still friends. We get a flashback of the ending of her coronation. And Sprite gets a memory book of all her friends. Lester and us learn that Mimi wants to move for this canceled friendship. Lester finally understands, and we don't know where to start making friends, so he sends her to Ponyville to maintain her friendship, to make friends. We see each of the ponies meet important ponies, and Twilight even get a sunset in Flash Century, which references Equestria Girls. So there's debate on whether whether Equestria Girls is considered canon. I think it is, but if you think it's not, that's fine. And it ends with the sunset and the book closing that opened as the video series. They're just going to go over some new lives for some of the ponies. So we have P-Ray cheese sandwich with a daughter named Little Cheese. Rarity makes clothes in Yakakistan, along with her own boutique. Object and Rainbow Dash seem to live together. Fluttershy lives with Discord. Next time we see everybody older. We see the older Cake Twins. And a giant version of Gummy. We see new Wonderbolts. We see older versions of the Student 6 and older Starlight and Sunburst. I mean, look at how old Silverstream is here. And also, Ocellus is molded up there. Anyway, we see the older student CTG class, and we see a Kieran student. At 2 acres, we see, I'm assuming when it was puppies, along with Mimi and Sugarmill's son. Yeah, they have son now. And Sandbar and Yoda work at Rarity's boutique. My Little Pony, a new generation, G5. So some characters. We have Sunny, Star Scout. First time we meet, and she's an Earth Boy who's still being medic, and she lives in Maritime Bay, orange coat, pink mane, can sometimes turn into an Alcor but can't control it. Izzy Moonbow, a purple coat, bouncing blue mane and tail. She's a unicorn living in Berlin and loves crafting. Pip Petals, a princess, pop star with social media. She calls her fans the Pipsqueaks, and lives in Zephyr Heights, pink coat, purple hair, light pink fluffy wings. Zip Storm, Pip's older sister, a little more rebellious than Pip, lives in Zephyr Heights, white coat, pink and blue wings, and mane. His Trailblazer. Slay's best friend, Sheriff from Maritime Bay, has a peach coat, a peach and white coat with green mane. Sprout. Slay's childhood friend, now on the run, used to be deputy before destroying Slay's home. Opaline. An evil Alcor with from Twilight's time. Human Celestial Lunar Phillies. Adopted mother Misty, a Medenta Alcor with blue and silver mane. Queen Haven. Mother Pip and Zip, purple coat, blue and purple mane. Alpha Middle. Misty's biological father, who he lost as a filly, blue-gray unicorn with gray mane. Misty, blue unicorn. Well, she calls herself Misty Bright Dawn. Anyway, blue unicorn with blue purple mane, and she has no key mark until Chapter 5, Episode 1. Phyllis Cloverleaf, Sprout's mother and leader of the company called Cantor Logic, which created the defense products until they became friends, and it was shut down. Argyle, Sunny's father, we don't see much of him, but he seems like a really good dad to Sunny. Some new magic items. The crystals for the 3 tribes. Hold all the magic of the 3 tribes. Rainbow Light Beam. Rainbow Light Beam inside the Crystal Break House. And Dragon Stone. It can still Dragon Fire. So this is the Dragon Stone, and that's the crystal of the 3 tribes. Okay, the movie aka Mlp A New Generation. Okay, so you can find this movie on Netflix if you're wanting to watch it. And again, as I always say, don't watch these videos unless you've watched the series first. Anyway, the main 6 are together again, but just Sunny, Hitch, and Sprout playing with toys with them, because Sunny's dad made toys of the main 6. Sunny and her dad believe all the ponies were friends, but no pony else does. We see artifacts from old Equestria, and they send out a lantern into the night with a message for you from the unicorn and the Pegasi. Argyle tells Sunny about Twilight's story and gives her a lantern of the 3 tribes. We see her dad is... We have flash forward to when Sunny's all grown up. We see her dad is dead. And she roller skates around town with a delivery and sings a song, Good Be My Day, while Sprout follows her. We see Hitch is now sheriff and stops her at the entrance to Cantor Logic. So Cantor Show is forced to leave and give her a delivery Sprout. Plus, we have a show every year for protective and stylish defense products for Earth ponies, such as hats blocking from Myri and sky goggles. And the escape pack, that pony flies out the window. So he gets caught in an automatic presentation with Earth Pony and gravity boots, prevent air abductions, unicorn trap, and Pegasi splatter pools, which is just very sticky slime. Hitch takes Sunny out, and a unicorn named Izzy arrives in Maritime Bay, causing widespread panic. Oh, I just want to point out, this is Billy Sunny. Oh, she's adorable. Anyways, they set up the unicorn trap and the splatter pools, and there's a chase. Izzy is captured by Sunny frees her and takes her to the lighthouse, but Sprout and Hitch follow her. Sunny asks Izzy so many questions, and Izzy tells her they don't have magic. Sunny and Izzy sneak away and decide to go to different heights. They sing a song looking out for you. As they travel, Hitch goes after Sunny, and Sprout stays behind. As they walk, they meet Dip, and they don't know who she is. When they meet her, Sunny asks the guards questions, and they got captured. And we see Princess Pip, we see her live stream. It's like they're taken to the castle in Queen Haven. Princess Pip and Princess Zip. They were put in dungeons, and there's a royal celebration that night. Sprout is sheriff for now, and he sings Danger, Danger, while gathering angry mob ponies, red ponies, to attack you from the Pegasi. I just want to mention a line of the song, just like, look at the corn, it's on the cup. Look at that guy, my name's Rob. Okay, that's just my line from the song. And he learns Zip's name, and Pip too. None of the pigs that can't fly, even if Zip was flying before, they were thrown in the dungeon, and Pip says only royals can fly. Zip sets them free. And And we see Hitch has found Zipper Heights. Zip shows them a train station where she uses a fan to fly, and she always reveals, and she's finally revealed that the Royals can't fly either. They see a window with the Paysign York crystals and Twice K-mark. They see that the crystals fit together, and they have to secretly steal the Queen's crown and swallow it with a fake. They manage to make a decoy. The concert starts with Pip singing "Blowing Up," and they get the crown and fight Cloud Puff at the dog fort, and Hitch chases them in a disguise with fake wings. It's revealed that the Royals can't fly, and they drop the crystal without Holt noticing. Pip shows up with the crystal. They all travel together. We reach the broken bridge, and they use the tree of the bridge by knocking it down. Oh, by the way, everybody found out that the Royals can't fly. Izzy tells them she found Sunny's note when she was a little filly. They go to Bridalwood, and Sunny plays her version of the theme song. He sings the song, fit right in, while making others look like unicorns. Pim's cover their wings with capes. The unicorns are sadly walking around. We learn there are forbidden words like in Brownwood. They are magic, wing, feather, and mayonnaise. And the new ritual tore off the jinxies, aka bad luck. And it takes them to the Crystal Tea Room, where they meet Alphaville, who makes bets. If you win the contest, you get what you offer. Izzy takes them to the crystal. Sunny bets him for the Unicorn Crystal, but if he wins, he gets the Pegasus Crystal. And the field is a dance game called Just Prance. Get it? Like Just Dance, but for ponies? Okay? Anyway. It's usually best out of 3, but Elville says you only need to win 1 out of 3. And she wins. And she wins 1 out of 3. And it's real that she's an Earth Pony. Well, for your New Generation Slide 3. Hitch reveals himself to be an Earth Pony. Pivot Zip reveals himself to be Paysign. Alville tries to get the crystal back, but Hitch uses the forbidden words, and they escape. Queen Haven shows up after escaping from jail. They all face off, and Sunny tries to bring back Reggie, but it doesn't work. She gives it back to Queen Haven outfit and leaves with Hitch. Sunny sadly starts putting away her childhood things away. Sunny moves a few drawings and sees what shaped like the crystals, and finds the earthquake crystal in the lamp when the sunlight shines through it. She's about to tell Hitch about the third crystal when they see Earth Ponies and tell them about the Sprout Act. Hitch and Sunny tell them that they can be friends with the unicorns and Pegasi. When Sprout shows them his Paramus Maximus, he says he's going to Brownwood. Sunny and Hitch run off to warn them. But Izzy, Pip, and Zip had already been heading to Brownwood and say they want to stay friends. And Evelyn and Queen Haven also show up. They give Sunny their crystals when she asks, and takes them to the lighthouse. And to show them the third crystal. Sprout ramps to the lighthouse, causing the others to drop the crystal. The alphabet is stuck in place with splatter bolts. When Sprout uses it, Green Haven saves Alphaville from being run over, and Izzy almost falls off the lighthouse. The crystal and the pit are put together, and it works to destroy the light. It goes together, but it doesn't work, and the lighthouse is destroyed. They come together, and the crystal activate, turning Sunny into an alicorn, and everybody gets their magic back. And after the scene, we see the train station window with all three crystals, and when three fillies race, the hoofprints of the Earth Pony glow. Mlp G4 make your mark. Okay, this is just a little Billy Pip and Zip, which is adorable. Okay, Chapter 1, Episode 1, which is the only episode. Make your mark. Zip sneaks out to Zephyr Heights to Palace to get Pip's microphone, which, though she doesn't need to, she sneaks over it anyway. In Maritime Bay, Pip records Sunny talking about Maritime Bay on her social media. They crash into the garden of an Earth Point named Posey after chasing a bird that took Pip's phone, and she wishes magic never came back. At the Crystal Bright House, Izzy tells Pip she's going to fix the plane's lantern for her. Sunny keeps getting her hornet wings at random times. Queen Haven calls Zip and she tells Queen Haven about the festival. Magic keeps acting up, Bayside being losing flight before regaining it, and later Unicorn drops an umbrella by accident at the beach. Zip takes notes, and her flight almost fails. We see the rainbow light beam glitching. Hitch finds an egg on the beach and takes it back to his station. At the Bright House, they are making baby treats. Magic from Pip, Sunny, and Izzy flow into the crystals, making green glowing vines that appear then disappear before the others can see them. Queen Haven tells Zip she will be attending the Maritime Bay Day Festival. Zip finds out about the egg. Pip takes them to May Melody, a new salon where they sing Molly style. Another Pegasus falls out of the sky. Zip thinks the crystals are powerful ponies. When ponies fight, they get weaker. Things at Maritime Bay Day keep going wrong, and they still try to do the concert. The random thunderstorm opens a hole in the ground. They try to move it, Earth ponies get stuck to the ground, and while the others are losing their magic. A pony and the Pegasus named Windy fall into electromagnetic saves them. And just to finish up this episode, the movie will close up and the glowing vines return this time all over town. Those ponies have their magic, and Hinch can communicate with animals all of a sudden. And he's the only Earth pony who can do that. So I think he must relate to Fluttershy or something. Anyway, Zip gets to see Maritime Bay, and they catch it into a baby dragon. And this unidentified alicorn finds Maritime Bay. We later learn this is openly, but we haven't found that out yet. Chapter 2, Episode 2, Growing Pains. Earthly magic is out of control, and guess what? Spirit is back, but not in the position of power. Spirit creates a giant berry that runs down. He decides that all Earthly magic so he can gather up data for proper regulations. Izzy Dragon says Sparky, which is the baby dragon that Hitch from the egg that Hitch found. He decides that Earthly magic is to replace since Earthly magic. Since every pony has glowing hooves, he decides to try to remove the Earth Pony crystal. And Izzy goes after him and decides not to remove the crystal. Instead of removing the crystal, the Chimeric magic combines with crystals to form a hologram of Twilight in the Rainbow Light Beam. We learn this is the first time Earthly magic. Twilight says this is Twilight's line, and Twilight's only line. If you're seeing this, magic is now more powerful than ever. And Earth Pony magic has been active for the first time in the history of Equestria. Magic is alive and always changing, growing stronger. There are evil forces out there who will try to exploit it. Once the pony tried to steal all the magic Equestria for herself, and almost succeeded. I know all I could protect you from summoning all my magical strength to achieve placing the magic in the crystals. But the spell is broken. You are exposed to the world once again. You must watch out for Oak before she... Oh, I am with you. Season 2, Chapter 2, Episode 3, Portrait of a Princess. Pip is getting ready for the Princess Portrait Day, but Pip is busy trying to figure out what the morning for Twilight. Opal decides she needs to get rid of the princess, so she decides to have Misty lure them into a trap using an ocean lily. This distracts Queen Hay while they are at Millie asks Pip to go with her to the ocean lily she's seen in a photo. Sunny tries to keep Queen Hay from picking up him zipper gone. They find the ocean lily, the argue after they've got mad at Pip from me on social media all day. They eventually figure out how to get along singing the portrait song they make when they are fillies. Then Pip squeaks help free them from the cave they were trapped in. They trap themselves in. So this is one of their portraits from that day, and this is Pip on social media. Chapter 2, Episode 6, The Traditional Unicorn Sleepover. Here's some pictures from the story, and here's a picture of Misty with the friends. Anyway, Izzy is Dragon City again, and we see the community garden. As I mentioned in Portrait of a Princess. Izzy meets Misty and forces her to be friends. Laura forces more just advice her to a sleepover. Izzy decides to take her to the Crystal Bright House for the traditional unicorn sleepover. He investigates Misty before seeing a montage of what they do at sleepover. They sing the sleepover song, but Misty doesn't know it. Sunny tells a story about the Guardians of Harmony. She says, once upon a time, there was a very special unicorn, a bright unicorn as bright as the sun. One day, she was summoned by a princess for an assignment to learn about friendship. She moved to Ponyville and met Earth Pony's unicorn and Pegasus. We became best friends. Together, they taught the power of unity and how to live in harmony to every pony in Equestria. But one day, a random accident happened. Earth Pony got hurt by a unicorn. Everybody started fighting with each other. The princess wanted to protect her kingdom, and all the point it decided to put all the magic into 3 crystals before it got out of hook. And after that, Earth Pony only fell with the other Earth Pony. Unicorns with unicorns and Pegasus of feather flocked together. The boys galloped as far as they could with their crystals. Suddenly, what would become different heights, Brightwood and Maritime Bay. And that's where they lived forever until now. But when Misty saw the difference, she says, most of it came from another pony. Who was a pony wolf, but an alicorn. An alicorn queen. Her was too powerful, and they were jealous of her ability. They wanted it all for themselves. So the princess stole the magic from the queen and hid it away somehow. The princess put an enchanted invisible bubble around Equestria, so the powerful old queen could never find the magic or the kingdom of Pony again. The crews alone with only shout for strength and power, while the ponies of the town create towns built with her soul and magic. Misty leaves, Izzy tells her everything she misses about Rowan, and they redecorate and give Izzy everything she missed from Rowan, and Misty comes back and they continue the sleepover. Episode 7, Hooked on It. This might be our last episode for tonight, guys. Misty steals a lantern and Zip almost catches her. Zip notices lantern missing. Zip starts to investigate. Pip finds the lantern but decides to keep it a secret. Zip continues to investigate threat after chasing Jerk. Misty is hiding from Zip. Zip finds her anyway. Pip reveals she got a lantern. Misty returns home to Opaline. With her just a mistake, she didn't get the lantern. And Opaline decides she'll use Dragon Fire. Okay, this is the last episode of the season, so we'll do it, and then we'll finish out the video. Episode 8, Have You Seen This Dragon? Hazel discovers Sparky is missing. He tells the others they look for him. When Misty took Sparky, they go look around town for Sparky. They can't find him. Misty can't sneak out of our house with Sparky. The main 5 look around for Sparky. Misty is trying to catch Sparky. They find Sparky with a lullaby Pip wrote, and they enjoy the sunset. Okay, that's going to be our last episode for tonight. And hopefully tomorrow I get to do some more. But that's the end of this video. Please comment on please vote on my recent poll. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.